What's up, y'all? It's Jeremiah with Mark Outdoors, and tonight I'm going to be running you through something that is super important if you're going to be using some friction or pot calls, and I'm going to be teaching you how to condition them. Now, this is such an important part, and I feel like this doesn't really get taught, and a lot of guys just assume people know, but people don't know. And my channel's made for teaching new people how to turkey hunt and how to hunt in general. So I'm going to be going over this with you guys. Now, if you guys don't know, a pot call or a friction call is a call just like this, and they'll either have a glass, ceramic, aluminum. Most original people know this slate, but they've got all these different surfaces, and to get them to sound right, and also to get your striker tuned for it to sound right, there's a little bit of a process you got to go through. It's not super hard, it's super quick, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it for those of you who don't know.
So the first call that I'm going to be showing you how to condition is a crystal call. Now this is my Rolling Thunder crystal call. It's definitely one of my favorite calls ever, but I'm going to show you guys how to condition it so that you keep them sounding good and you don't damage them, because it's so easy to damage one of these calls. So most of your calls are going to come with a sandpaper pad and a Scotch-Brite pad, and they may not come with either one. They might actually come with nothing, and you can buy a kit like this. But here's my suggestion. This right here will tear a call up and groove one really bad if you're new to this, or you're just learning. I mean, you can tear a call up bad. Now, this call actually came with just a clean surface, and I had to put this on myself. So I did take the sandpaper and have to rough it up a little bit. But I will say it's an easy way to groove up a call. So I suggest, unless it's a fresh, clean call, in which case you're going to have to rough it up with your sandpaper, I suggest sticking to the Scotch-Brite pad. Now, the Scotch-Brite pad, all you're going to do is across a small surface that you're going to be calling with. You don't need to do the whole call. Just a small surface that you're going to be calling with. You take a Scotch-Brite pad, push your fingers into it, and you got to push pretty hard. But once you do that, you'll see that that surface has now been kind of smoothed out a little bit. And all you're going to do is, once you get that going, you're going to have to condition your striker. Now, a striker is super easy to condition. All you're going to do is press this into your Scotch-Brite pad, twist it around, and it's just going to rough it up just enough to where you get that nice, clean, crisp sound out of it. As you guys can see, that sounds excellent. So now we're going to move on to the ceramic top call. Now this call is super similar, except for the fact that really you don't even need to run your Scotch-Brite on it. You can, and it definitely helps to rough it up a little bit, but that surface is not really required for your Scotch-Brite. The next call we're going over is by far the most important. This is your slate call. Now your slate call, you're going to have to rough up quite often. And when I rough mine up, I always blow it off. And as you guys are going to see, I will call on an unroughed up portion and a roughed up portion just so you can see the difference. Now we're going to go up to the roughed up portion. As you guys can see, that sounds 10 times better. And conditioning your calls is so important to get a good sound out of them.
All right, y'all. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the video. Just remember that with a slate call or any of these friction calls, but especially a slate, remember that always call in the same spot and try not to get your hands on the surface of the call. Earlier in the video, I'm sure you saw that where my hand was touching, I've got big hands, so I have a hard time not touching. But where my hand was touching, it left a dark streak, and there's still kind of a dark streak there. And eventually that will go away, but the oils in your hands soak down into a really porous material like slate, so it can make your sound not as good, and over time it can actually damage or ruin a pot call. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it. Just remember, condition your calls so you get that good, clean sound. Jeremiah with Mark Outdoors, signing out.